Hello, everybody. Welcome back. We left off, we were talking about sine, cosine, and tangent, SOHCAHTOA. We also talked about law of sines and law of cosines, so I wanted to add some word problems to that. Don't forget about your favorite video, SOHCAHTOA, 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 SOHCAHTOA. Great. You thought you'd miss that, but no, it's still here. But we are going to jump into some word problems with law of sines and law of cosines. I'm crossing off number 7, 10, and 11 for you guys. And together we're going to do 3, 5, and 6. And then the other ones will be your homework. So 1, 2, 4, 8, and 9. But we will go ahead and start with number 3. So number 3 says Tom, Dick, and Harry are camping in their tents. Oh, I can't draw a tent. If the distance between Tom, Dick, and Dick is 153 feet, and the distance between Tom and Harry is 201 feet, and the distance between Dick and Harry is 175 feet, what is the angle between Dick, Harry, and Tom? So I'm going to go ahead and find all 3 of those angles. But let's go ahead and draw them camping. So it says first that Tom and Dick are 153 feet apart. And Tom and Harry are 201. I'm doing my best to draw these. They might not really be to scale though. And then Dick and Harry are 175 feet apart. What is the angle between Dick, Harry, and Tom? I'm thinking they're talking about this angle, but I'm going to go ahead and find all 3 just in case. So I would love to use sine, cosine, or tangent, but I can't because this is not a right triangle. I'd love to use law of sines, but I do not have any angles, so I'm stuck with law of cosines. So the side across from H is, let's get some colors going. Okay, 153 squared, both of the sides next to it, plus 175 squared minus, don't forget that 2 times 201 times 175 times cosine of Harry's angle. Oh, my Apple Pencil. There it goes. Oh, man. Sorry, guys. Cosine of Harry. Sorry about that. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and type each piece into my calculator. So 153 squared is 23,409. 201 squared. And I'm just typing this in my pretty red calculator off to the side. Sorry, I can't give you guys a calculator to borrow. 30625, and then minus 2 times 201 times 175 times cosine of Harry. PEMDAS, I did exponents first. There's no parentheses. So I'm going to do the multiplication next. 2 times 201 times 175. That gives me 7,350. And I still have this going. Okay, I am going to combine these 2 right here. And that will give me, let's see, let me type it in, 71026. And that equals this. Okay, the temptation right here is to add these 2 numbers together, but I cannot do that because this cosine H is attached. So what I can do instead is subtract this from both sides. And then I will get 23,409 minus that will give you negative. Be careful, these negatives are important. And I have a negative here. I'm going to divide both sides by this number. Oh, running out of room. I'm going to move this. so I have more room. Divide both sides by negative. Again, don't forget that. I'm just saying that because I did last time I did this problem, and it messed everything up. Okay, and if I divide that, let me type it into my calculator. Divided by negative 76350, and that gives you 0.6237 equals cosine h. Okay, so I don't have the angle, but I do have the ratio. So I can use that blue button in my calculator. I can say cosine -1 of this, and that will give me the angle for Harry. So Harry's angle equals 51.4156. And that would be in degrees. Whoa, that's weird. Okay, so I'm going to shrink this down, bring it back. And now I know Harry's angle, which was 51.4156 degrees. I do not want to do law of cosines again because that just took a while. So if I want to find, let's say, Tom's angle, I'm going to use law of sines this time. So I'm going to say sine of Tom's angle over the side across from it, which was 175, equals the sine of Harry's angle, which was 51.4156 over the side across from that, which was 153. And now I have a separate problem. So I'm going to type sine of that 51 degrees in. I can't type sine t into my calculator, so I'm just going to leave that there. But this was 0.7817. And then I can cross multiply. So I have 153 sine t. And then I'm going to take that number and multiply the 175 by 0.7817, and I'm going to get 7957. Divide both sides by 153. And man, I'm running out of room. That will give me sine t equals 0.8941. 0.8941. Again, don't know what the angle is, so I'm going to use that blue button to go backwards in my calculator so that I can get Tom's angle to be 63.3917. 63.3917. And I have Tom's angle. I'm going to shrink that down. Of course, I still need to find the last angle. So I'm just going to do it the easy way. I'm going to do 180 minus Harry's angle minus Tom's angle. So 180 minus 51.4156 minus 63.3917. And that will give me, typing it in now, I got 65.1920, something. Look closer. So the last angle is 65.19269, so 27. And those are all three angles. They didn't really tell me which one. They said between Dick, Harry, and Tom, so I'm guessing it's that H angle, but I solved for all of them. Okay, the next one says that an airplane, I want to go fly somewhere. An airplane is flying directly to the airport. So, shoom, we've got airplane A, and they're going to the airport. Hopefully, that's where they're going. And they're only 20 miles away, which for an airplane is not that far. But they notice there's another one, and by they notice, they mean air traffic control probably told them, and they are 45 degrees to the right. and that is airplane B, who is also flying directly towards the airport. Again, I'm just drawing these roughly. I don't know if my pictures are accurate with the angles and the degrees. I'm just trying to draw a 45-degree angle. And they noticed 50 degrees to their left was the other airplane, which realistically is air traffic control's job. However, I did talk to my uncle who is a pilot, and during some of these times when the air traffic control people were gone, the pilots were literally on walkie-talkies, or not walkie-talkies, but on their systems, talking to other pilots and saying where they physically were so they didn't run into each other. Mostly air traffic control, but in times like we're going through right now, they've been talking on walkie-talkies, making sure they didn't run into each other. But so we'll figure out what this is, how far airplane B is from the airport. So I'm going to use law of sines because I have an angle and a side across from it. So I have sine 50 over 20 miles per hour. 20 miles is equal to sine 45 over x. And I'm going to type those into my calculator. Sine 50 is 0.7660. And sine 45 is 0.7071. Going to cross multiply to solve. So I have 0.7660x. And if I multiply that 0.7071 times 20, I get 14.1421. I'm going to divide both sides by that 0.7660 to get x alone. And that will give me, let me type it in. Ran out of room. 18 point something. X is equal to 18.4612, basically 18 and a half miles. And that's all this one asked, so much shorter than the other one. Our last question together today is a plane leaves JFK International Airport, I think that's in New York, and travels due west. Never eat soggy waffles. That's my go-to. Due west at 570 miles per hour. Another plane leaves 20 minutes later and travels, let's make this one orange, travels west of north. So they were going north and they went west of that, 22 degrees, at a rate of 585 miles per hour. To the nearest 10 miles, how far apart are they? 40 minutes after the second plane leaves. So they didn't actually tell us how far they went. They told us their speed and they told us how long they were going for. And so that first plane, they went 570 miles per hour, and if it was 40 minutes after the second plane leaves, which left 20 minutes later, they just went for an hour. So 570 miles per hour for 1 hour is good old 570 miles because they traveled 1 hour. But the second one, this is where it gets a little tricky. They only traveled for 40 minutes. And so they were traveling 585 miles for every 1 hour, but they didn't go for 1 hour. They only went for 40 minutes. So 40 minutes out of 60, that is basically 2/3 of an hour they traveled. So if I want to get the miles, I do 585 times 40, which is 23,400 over that 60. The hours cancel out. You've done this in physics before. And that will give me 390 miles. So that second plane didn't travel 585 miles. They only traveled 390. Okay, and then they want to know how far apart they are. So that is this pink line right here. How far apart in miles are they? I'm going to find this angle. I'm just going to do 90 because north was, north to west is a difference of a right angle right here. So 90 minus 22, and that will give me 68. Let me double check. Yep, 68 degrees. So your favorite here, law of cosines. I don't have an angle with a side across from it, so I'm going to have to do law of cosines. This is the one we can type a lot of it in our calculator. So this is my side I'm trying to find. I'm going to move this over. I have x squared equals both of the sides next to it squared minus 2 times 570 times 390 times cosine 68 degrees. Now I'm going to be super lazy, and I'm going to type all of that in one string in my calculator. So it'll take me a second, but 570 squared plus 390 squared minus 2 times 570 times 390 times cosine 68, and that gave me this large number. Okay, square root that so that I can get 557.1803 miles apart. It makes sense. My picture's not perfect in the drawing, but 570, 390, it's somewhere in between there. That's how far apart they were. So they're not going to crash anytime soon. That is all we're going to do together today. Your homework is 1, 2, 4, 8, and 9. Let me know if you guys have any questions. See you later. Bye.